Alrighty, hello every folks, and good morning. Welcome to a little bit of an update here for Aethermancer, which recently ended up actually getting an update to its demo, which I gotta say, it's been really nice because it's basically giving very extreme like Unicorn Overlord vibes as far as just how much gameplay there is in the demo itself. So that's been a really nice treat to have here. But for those that missed it, yeah, it ended up getting an update. This is actually part of that update. So, update version, does it say? Yeah, 1 point, or 0.1.1.5 ended up landing. So first things first in this update was the cockatrice. So this is going to be available in the pilgrim path there. Essentially, the warden is more or less the boss of the area at this point, whereas this guy just kind of takes their slot in that particular location, being a sort of a retaliation tank that can incinerate the entire area if you end up pissing it off enough, which is pretty darn cool. Additionally, there's been what seems to be a few different mechanics added as far as retaliation type of stuff goes. I don't know exactly how it all works as of yet, but I do know that as of my most recent run, when I got to the end of the demo, one of those effects triggered and basically like deleted half the final boss. So either way, they definitely work. I just know that a bunch of like fire and lightning shot out everywhere, so that was kind of neat. Anyway, let's see. So we're just going to go over the new content in general, just kind of read off the patch notes here. So, new content, new monster is the cockatrice, can be found as a regular monster in the Pilgrim Path, replacing Warden in its regular monster slot. Warden can now only be encountered as the champion monster in the path, not as a regular monster. Elements are fire and wind, it's a tank burn dodge, and comes with hot temper. Retaliate applies one temporary, I mean you already see that on screen. Two maverick traits, electrical burn, which is a burn plus dodge aura. Whenever an enemy reaches 5 burn stacks, deals fire and wind hit with 11 damage to that enemy and applies dodge to self. I wonder if that's what ended up triggering. It triggers only once per enemy per combat, or overwhelming heat applies 1 burn to target enemy for every power stack on this monster. Rare affixes. Rare affixes are enhanced versions of standard equipment affixes, offering improved values or having completely new and stronger effects. Previously, these were exclusive to the Torment's Blessing interaction. Equipment obtained from loot drops has a 15% chance to replace a normal affix with a rare affix. Stuff gotten from the Knight has a 15% chance to get a rare, and the Merchant has a 30% chance to get a rare. However, this is the kind of like main one that got a little bit of feedback to it. So we have reworked the mechanics around catching monsters, which we dub the Memento rework. It affects a lot of gameplay mechanics related to mementos, monster souls, and monster shrines. Our goals are to simplify the mechanics as they caused a lot of confusion, which is fair. I went through that tutorial a couple of times and it just completely went over my head. Admittedly, I am an idiot, but either way, as well as to improve the Monster Tamer feel of our game, we encourage you to make a new save file to try out the new changes yourself without skipping the tutorial so we can get more feedback on these changes. Here's a summary of the changes. The player starts out without any mementos except for their chosen starter. They have to use the capture action to build up their roster of monsters. The start of the game, mainly the tutorial, was adjusted accordingly. The function of a memento is simplified. It simply unlocks the corresponding monster for the player. It doesn't function as a tool to store a monster's soul anymore. So basically that is your Pokedex capture, more or less. The player no longer needs to collect a monster's soul in order to rebirth it. Instead, there's a new generic rebirth resource called Monster Souls. The player starts out each run with 3 of them, and can find more of them and use them in different ways, similar to current souls tied to specific monsters. So basically, they're usable as a world interaction tool. Monster Shrines simply offer an amount of random monsters equal to the amount of souls the player currently has. These random monsters all come from a list of captured monsters. There is no longer a distinction between free souls and other rebirth options, and I think that was probably the main one that was kind of confusing, because it was just like, I have no clue what I'm looking at half the time before. So either way, so it's good to see that that's simplified. It does generally just mean like, here's your list, you pick a thing, you move on, instead of like trying to figure out the logistics of what you should or should not be using for that particular playthrough. Alright, using a monster shrine always uses up 1 monster soul, meaning you'll have 1 less random choice at the next shrine, unless you get a new soul along the way. The Soul Gate and Soul Altar were adjusted to use the new Monster Soul resource. Soul Altars will offer a chance of 3 random temporary boons. based on the types of the player's current monster, which means it's more likely to give you boons that synergize with your monsters. Small changes and improvements. Tutorials now display dynamic keys. For example, they now will display controller buttons instead of keyboard keys when using a controller. Self-damaging actions are no longer affected by power and damage buffs and don't cause corruption. Added fog to the tutorial area. Meta upgrade shop. The meta upgrade shop displays long headers better now. Added more tutorial highlights. Added zoom to specific point of interaction or POI during some tutorials and dialogues. Improved monster replacement screen. You can now leave detailed worthiness screen by pressing escape. Purging enemy aether logic is smarter now. It no longer it takes not only the target enemy but also other enemies into account, but canceling the target's action has higher priority. If an action purges multiple aether at once, it iterates through all possible combinations to pick the best. I love how absolutely anal they are about this, by the way. Like, in many games, they would just settle for, like, you know what, just do something at random. And here they're like, no, you will get a use out of this. Added an icon for corruption to the UI. The corruption number is now showcased in the exploration HUD, pause menu, and monster menu. I love that particular improvement. I know it's small, but I really love it. Improved UI visuals for when you go to new areas, to the victory screen and the defeat screen. Adjustments to rebirth menu visuals, improved readability on event text box. And then finally, for type monster and balancing changes, a few tweaks to help out the weaker monsters. Primeval Blights, Tezzletorm's signature trait, crit chance per poison sack increased to 3% from 2%. The shield type was too dominant. It always is. So, some shield types were nerfed. Stone Fist, shielding reduced from 2 times 3 from 2 times 4, and base damage reduced from 14 to 15. Glacier Shield, shielding reduced from 2 times 4 from 2 times 6. Lightning Shield, shielding reduced to 1 by 5 from 2 by 3. Emergency Response, threshold for extra shielding reduced to 50% from 60%. To make healing actions more worthwhile to use, almost every healing action has been buffed, either with stronger healing or additional utility, or both. Refreshment, heal increased to 3 by 6 from 3 by 4, and now applies 1 regeneration to all allies instead of 2 regeneration to only 1. Breeze, heal increased to 3 by 5 from 3 by 4, and Aether changed to fire and wind instead of wind. Healing Slime, heal increased to 3 by 6 from 3 by 4. I gotta say, I definitely really liked the slime a lot more on my most recent run, so that's like specifically the healing version of it, like its whole thing of just out-poisoning the other guy, outlasting the other side, and while repeatedly stacking your own poison to use as a counter, like that is just functioning a lot better now. I don't exactly know if it was just because of this, or maybe I just didn't appreciate it as much before, but, like, that mess absolutely carried. Natural Cure, heal increased from 3 by 6 from 3 by 4, and the amount of debuffs and corruption cleansed increased from 4 from 3 each. Maybe I should just, yeah, this is a long list, actually. Okay, Nature Cure got improved, Cleansing Rain got improved, Blood Drain got improved. Vampiric Seed got improved by 2. Windfall got increased very slightly as well. I mean, all of these are basically like 1 to 2 modifiers. It looks like every healing ability across the board, actually, unless I'm missing something. I forget what the Star Guy's ability is called. Actually, Volcanic Essence, I think that's the one. That actually, okay, that improved a lot. That's why it was so good. Apparently before it was 3 by 4, and now it's 3 by 7. Because, yeah, that was enough to repeatedly spam full party heals. So, good stuff there. Some poison type skills were buffed. Plague now applies poison to all enemies instead of all other enemies. Proliferate damage increased to 5 from 4. Fatal Upkeep, debuff damage increased from 4 to 3, Polluted Aether, damage increased from 6 to 5, and poison stacks from 6 from 5. Mephisto was both one of the monsters with the highest win rate for players, as well as one of the deadliest to end players on the enemy side. Schadenfreude dodge chance reduced to 6% from 10%, and other changes, haste dodge increase from 12% to 8%. Let's see, VFX of Champion Monster no longer plays after their defeat in combat. The outlines of Champion Monsters in the exploration are displayed correctly when they're targeted with Void Blitz. Made sure action VFX are cleared when returning to exploration from combat. Elemental challenges should now be sorted correctly. They are, at least as far as I've seen. Tutorial messages correctly display controller buttons instead of keyboard keys. Camera during end cutscenes should no longer be offset. By the way, I don't know if certain... if some of the randos in the hub world are meant to have portraits or not, but it kind of seems to act like they should have portraits, but they don't seem to. They might just not be there yet. Fix an issue that caused your rebirth monsters to show up at the next monster shrine. That explains that. Because yeah, there was one particular instance I was kind of wondering what happened to my my dude that already got iced that particular run. Let's see, where were we? Because I accidentally canceled out of it. If you load an existing save file in the middle of a run after the update, it might be reset to Pilgrim's Rest. Surprisingly, it wasn't. It let me just go ahead and finish the run. Let's see, fixed level up text overlaying the worthiness detail screen, fixed random line in the middle of the worthiness bar, camera now behaves correctly when you teleport quickly, yeah, fix being able to forfeit after winning a combat and stuff. I think that covers all of them. But either way, stuff's pretty darn good. So, if you have not tried this dang thing yet, do so. You should get on that. It's a fantastic demo so far. I'm really looking forward to the full release of the thing. And yeah, as far as zoomy little roguelike scale, let's see. Oh yeah, right. I guess I probably should get a dude, huh? Just, going on, zooming off. Where's my dude? I apparently do not get my dude. Okay, well, let's get you, I suppose. But yeah, it just sort of like picks them at random from what you have unlocked so far. By the way, a couple of random things. I don't know if any of this will be considered or whatever else, but just for the purpose of throwing it out there, a couple of little details that I thought would have been kind of neat. Like when it comes to your monsters and stuff, like whenever you show up to a camp screen, it would be really cool if they just temporarily walked out of your party to go hang out at the camp thing or something. Given that it just sort of instantly recovers everybody and you move on right now, I feel like that's probably pretty placeholder. Like I feel like it's one of those cases where they're probably going to add a little bit more to it. But it just would be cool to be able to see a little bit more, I guess, going on there, as it were. Let's see. Ooh, 1 to 2 damage against self. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting. So he actually has the option to piss himself off. Although, that being said, also, I would like to burninate this chicken on the other side for that stagger, so go ahead and give me that. Fire Fang this dude, get him staggered. There we go. But yeah, this seriously feels like just roguelike Nuzlocke run on steroids, and I love it for that. So, as far as a nice little sit-down game that you could definitely handle over the course of just like lunch. Like you could probably reasonably complete the entire demo over the course of a lunch break right now, and it's pretty good. Anyway, purge that dude. I don't have any follow-up to that, so he's probably going to be just fine. We're going to get him to piss himself off here. Get all nice and angry and burninate everybody, which should help to some degree. Dude, I love the animations on this thing. Like, every new thing, I just love the animations on. Like, with the chicken just going absolutely berserk there. My favorite is still the, I still don't know how you pronounce it, the, like, Volpentanger or whatever. But basically the jackalope-looking guy that just does all of his back kicks all the time. I don't know, it's just super charming to me that they're always doing back kicks. There's just something about it that does it for me, you know? But yeah, so, check out this demo at your soonest convenience, and make sure to wishlist this thing. I think this game is just really darn good. Alright, anyways, I gotta get going. Y'all have yourselves a good one. Oh, there he is! There's my dude! I don't want to fight my dude. He's my buddy. Dude, seriously, that rabbit is just my favorite thing. He's just so freaking cool. Now we gotta put it out of its misery. What a shame. I love the little flippies. Like, just everything. Everything all the time. Everything all the time is just another good thing here. Have him burn himself so that he can burn everybody else. There we go. I don't know if you've ever seen, like, a chicken go absolutely berserk on something, but I love... Specifically, I love that you hear the little wing sound with every swipe. Like, that they added that little extra whoosh in there. That's good stuff. Let's go delete your move. Yeah, actually, I think that's probably one of the other things that makes this so dang satisfying. That there's this whole thing for preventing enemy actions and stuff. It's like the whole purging system just feels so good. It's like you force them to get rid of their better moves. You force them into a retaliation action, which then and here that should do it pretty decently. Which then further stacks into getting your own retaliations off on them. So you're basically attacking while defending while also protecting. It's good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. All right. Okay. I've tried to end this video like 3 times now. Let's go ahead and get going here. Except then I kind of want to keep going on this thing too. All right. Whatever. I'll just keep going on my own. Y'all have yourselves a good one. Take care. Go try out the demo. Bye.